Hey guys, it's John here. Welcome to part 7 of my DVD collection. I was sort of looking ahead as to how many parts I have left with the DVDs. There's going to be at least 4 or 5, so I'm trying to knock them out. I may not get them all done this weekend, but I'm going to at least give you 2 or 3. And then after I'm done with my DVDs, I can get to my Blu-rays. And then after that, I'll be done with my collection videos. So I'm trying to bang it all out. And I'm sorry, I'm not doing as much videos during the week because of work. So it seems like my weekends are the best for making videos. But here we are, again with part 7. So let's kick this off with this first one. Very good film. Death Becomes Her. Bruce Willis, Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, who directed Back to the Future, Roger Rabbit. Yeah, who framed Roger Rabbit? Great director. Yeah, very good dark comedy. It's funny. Death Becomes Her. Next, fun movie, Vegas Vacation. And I like this one. Not many people talk about it. I just remember Eddie's line in the film, "Where's my damn bait? Take your damn pictures on the damn tour." But a fun sequel. I like Vegas Vacation. I don't have European Vacation. Oddly, I don't have that one. But I'll have to pick it up. Next, we have White Squall with Jeff Bridges. This is one I haven't seen. But for the Jeff Bridges collection, directed by Ridley Scott. So it's got to be good. But yeah, White Squall, Jeff Bridges. Let me know about that one. Next, really good film. Blast from the Past, Brendan Fraser, Alicia Silverstone. You got features, you got The Love Meter, Game, How Do You Rate, which has nothing to do with the film. But that's it. Includes widescreen and full screen, but whatever. Yeah, Blast from the Past, really good film. Nice story. Next, classic, we have Fatal Attraction. Michael Douglas, Glenn Close. Really good film, great performances. Features, you have Remembering Fatal Attraction, interviews with the cast, a look at the cultural phenomenon of Fatal Attraction, behind the scenes production featurette, rehearsal footage, alternate ending with introduction by director, commentary with director. Some good features up here. But yeah, Fatal Attraction, another really good film. Next, we have a very good comedy that I believe is underrated. Nobody really talks about this film much now, but we have Airheads. Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, Steve Buscemi, and a really good cast. I mean, a lot of cool cameos in this film. You have Chris Farley, Michael McKean. I think Harold Ramis has an appearance in the film. Ernie Hudson. Did I mention Michael Richards? Who plays Kramer on Seinfeld. He's in the film. Yeah, Airheads is a really fun movie. Entertaining flick. Yeah, well, I love Airheads. Next, we have a film that I enjoyed. Really good reboot. That actually works. That deserves a sequel. And that's Dredd. Karl Urban's Dredd. Really good film. This is how you do a reboot, and I don't know why there's not a sequel to this film. Like, supposedly they were working on a TV show, but you don't need a TV show. I'd much rather have a straightforward sequel with Karl Urban back as Dredd and make it kick ass. Have it kick ass. bring back the same visuals. Yeah, Dread is really good. If you haven't seen this, definitely give it a watch. I don't know why I didn't see this in theaters, but yeah, I did watch this film last year or early this year for the first time, and I loved it. Loved Dread. Which I'll be honest, I prefer over the 95 film. But that's just me. Next, really good film that I haven't seen in a minute. And that's Jackie Brown. Tarantino's Jackie Brown. Really good cast, too. You have Pam Grier, Samuel Jackson, Barbara Forster, rest in peace, Bridget Fonda, Michael Keaton, Robert De Niro. I remember really liking this film, Jackie Brown. Tarantino film, nobody really talks about much. Some bonus material. You have an introduction by Quentin Tarantino. You have a documentary on the film. Interviews with Tarantino. Siskel and Ebert talk about Jackie Brown on MTV. So it's pretty cool. Jackie Brown, good flick. I need to rewatch it. Next, we have Remember the Titans. Another really good film based on the true story. And, I remember when this film came out, and I think maybe in the same year or the year after, I remember watching this in middle school. I remember watching this film in middle school, like in 2000, 2001. So, yeah, I'm that old. I can't believe this film is almost 20 years old. It's crazy. But a really good, film that's a feel-good film. Features, you have 4 deleted scenes. Denzel becomes Boone featurette. An inspirational journey behind the scenes. So, yeah, Remember the Titans, a really good film. Next, definitely a classic, and I have the first 4 in a collection pack on Blu-ray, which you'll see later. And that's First Blood, the special edition. And I'll pull it out. Maybe you can see it, yeah. Classic. Features, you have a new documentary drawing First Blood, creating John Rambo 20 years later. The creators of First Blood recount their tales of launching David Morrell's groundbreaking novel to the big screen and developing a powerful new franchise. You also have an audio commentary with the writer David Morrell. So, what more can you say about First Blood? Definitely a great movie. Next, it's a little dusty, but we have the Godfather collection. Let's see if I can pull them out. Let's see. Okay, there's an extra disc for bonus materials, but we got the first one. Godfather Part 2. And Godfather Part 3, which I watched the first one not too long ago, and it's a great movie. I haven't seen the second one though, but believe it or not, I have not seen Godfather Part 2. The Godfather I really liked, and I haven't seen Godfather Part 3, but I know that's kind of considered the weakest of the franchise. But yeah, I do have the Godfather collection, and if I'm not mistaken, I got this for like $1. Yeah, or maybe $3. It's somewhere between a buck and $3, but not bad. So the Godfather collection, I got that. Next, we have the Back to the Future collection, all 3 films, and this is the 25th anniversary trilogy, which has hours of bonus features, Tales from the Future, a 6-part documentary featuring all new interviews with the cast, the physics of Back to the Future, deleted scenes, Michael J. Fox Q&A, 7 archival featurettes, behind the scenes stuff, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, audio commentaries, and I think, it seems like every 5 years with Back to the Future they come out with a new DVD or a new Blu-ray, but I'm fine with this. And again, it has all 3 films, so definitely a great trilogy to have. So this Back to the Future trilogy. Get off there. Damn it. Let's see. Where'd that come from? But moving on, we have this double pack of Pet Sematary. Pet Sematary, the first one, and Pet Sematary 2. Pet Sematary is definitely a classic. Haven't seen the sequel, believe it or not. Haven't seen this one, but I really like Pet Sematary. And I do have the documentary on Blu-ray. I think it's The Untold Truth or something like that. You'll see it later, but I do have both of these. Both Pet Sematary films on this double pack. So I got that. No features on the second one, but you do have some stuff on the first one, like commentary by director Mary Lambert, Stephen King territory, which is, I guess, a featurette on the characters, filming the horror. So, yeah, got that. Next, another really good film, Pumpkinhead, starring Lance Henriksen, and a really good horror film, directed by Stan Winston, who I thought did a great job directing. And some features up here. You have commentary by co-screenwriter Gary Girani and the effects creators, moderated by filmmaker Scott Spiegel. Featurettes: Evolution of a Demon, The Curse and the Damned, The Tortured Soul of Ed Harley, Constructing Vengeance. A lot of featurettes, behind the scenes footage. This is the collector's edition of Pumpkinhead. I know there's sequels, but I haven't seen them. I haven't seen the sequels, and to be honest, I'm not in a hurry to watch, but Pumpkinhead's great. Great movie. Next, definitely an action classic, we have Demolition Man. What more can you say about this film? You can say at this point this is sort of a documentary now because of all the stuff that's happening, in our society, and the way that people are so flaky and censorship and all this crap going on. It's just like Demolition Man. We're living in the Demolition Man future. It's not the future, it's now. We're in the now with the Demolition Man, but that's a whole other topic. But this film, why doesn't this film have a special edition? I don't get it. It deserves a special edition, but love Demolition Man. What more can you say about the film? It's a 90s classic. But I got that. I need to get it on Blu-ray. I don't know why I don't have it on Blu-ray, but moving on, we have The Fly 2, and I have The Fly on Blu-ray, so you'll see that later. And this one, I like The Fly 2. I like this movie. I mean, sometimes, it seems like some people don't like it, but I think it's a good sequel. Special features, you have on disc 1, audio commentary by director and film historian, never before seen alternate ending, deleted scenes, and on disc 2 you have a documentary, a couple of documentaries, comparisons with optional commentary, storyboard to film comparisons, film production journal, featurette with the composer, original 1989 The Fly 2 featurette. So a lot of good features on here. And it's a 2-disc, like I've mentioned. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, I like The Fly 2. So, good sequel. I mean, the first is definitely the best. You know, the first one's definitely the better film. But I like that movie. Next, a film I haven't seen, but we have Toolbox Murders, directed by Tobe Hooper. Yeah, I haven't seen this one, but I got it for cheap a while back, so sometime I'll give it a watch. But that's Toolbox Murders. Next, definitely a great drama. We have What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Really good film, really good performances from Johnny Depp and Leonardo DiCaprio. Features, you have commentary by the director and writer, the characters of Gilbert Grape, the voice of Gilbert Grape, why we love the film Gilbert Grape. So some good features up here. But yeah, really good drama, good dramatic film. So that's Gilbert Grape. Got that. Next, if I ever do a rant, because I've heard so much about this film, by its reputation, I will do a rant. So yes, I have Battlefield Earth with John Travolta. I have not seen this film, but it's one of those that I picked up for cheap, and if I ever do a rant on the film, I do own it. So one day, it's coming. And that's a special edition of Battlefield Earth. So I do have this one. Moving on, we have Twisted with Ashley Judd, Samuel Jackson, Andy Garcia. Features, you have commentary by director, you have some featurettes, 10 extended and deleted scenes. I've never seen this one, but good cast. No crime is more intimate than murder. So someday I'll give this a watch. That's Twisted. Got that. Next, a Mark Wahlberg film that I actually like, that I can actually tolerate, but that's Shooter. You know, I'm not a big fan of Mark Wahlberg, but I do like this film. I like the cast. Danny Glover is also in the film. Elias Cotis, Ned Beatty. And yeah, from the director of Training Day, I thought this was a good one. Again, I can tolerate Mark Wahlberg in Shooter. So yeah, this is a good flick. I like Shooter. Next, we have, which I haven't opened yet. I don't know why. But we have Mr. Holland's Opus, starring Richard Dreyfuss, which I haven't seen, which is why I was curious. You know, I was curious about the film, and I bought it for $7. But from the Richard Dreyfuss collection, you know, so I got Mr. Holland's Opus. I haven't seen, but you can let me know about that. Got that. Next, we have definitely a classic, Men in Black. And this is the only one that I have. I don't have Men in Black 2 or Men in Black 3, but I'm not a fan of Men in Black 2. I did like Men in Black 3. You know, I want to get those to sort of complete the collection, but on here, features, you have a teaser trailer for Men in Black 2, some sneak peeks at the film, storyboard comparisons, Men in Black documentary, which I haven't seen. Now I'd like to go back and watch that documentary. But yeah, Men in Black, what more can you say about this film? It's a 90s classic. Great movie. Next, we have a Dolph Lundgren film, which I haven't seen, but for the collection, for the Dolph collection. Missionary Man. Again, I haven't seen this film, but I'm trying to get more of his films for the collection. I think I showed earlier the Dolph Lundgren collection pack, which had ones like Blackjack and Direct Action, Command Performance, Sweepers. So if I ever do a Dolph marathon, I have Missionary Man, directed by Dolph Lundgren. So someday I'll give this a watch. So I got that. Next, really good film that I want to rewatch again now, and that's G.I. Jane with Demi Moore. Great movie. Ridley Scott did a great job on this film. I almost want to say this is Ridley Scott, as of late, he hasn't directed anything good, but it's ones like this, like Black Rain, that don't get talked about. Like when it comes to Ridley Scott, they'll talk about Alien or Blade Runner. But G.I. Jane is really good. Demi Moore kicks ass. Yeah, great movie. Next, which I haven't seen, you can let me know about. Excalibur. Got this for cheap. Features, you have commentary by director. That's pretty much it. Forged by God, foretold by a wizard, found by man. And that's Excalibur. So you let me know about that one. I'll try not to let it fall over this time. Next, we have Kiss of the Dragon with Jet Li, which again, I don't have a lot of Jet Li stuff. I would like to get more for the Jet Li collection. I think I have this and The One, I believe. I'm not sure, but Fist of Legend I do have. I haven't shown that yet, but trying to get more Jet Li stuff. I haven't seen this one. I have to give that a watch. Maybe I'll watch that today, but yeah. Kiss of the Dragon. So I got that. Next, we have In the Electric Mist, Tom Lee Jones, John Goodman, Mary Steenburgen. I haven't seen this one. But for the Tom Lee Jones collection, someday I'll give this a watch. But that's In the Electric Mist. Let me know about that one. Next up, definitely a classic. And I have the sequel, The Return. And that's Universal Soldier. Great movie, definitely an action classic. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren. Directed by Roland Emmerich. Features, you have commentary with the director, writer, alternate ending, a featurette, The Making of Universal Soldier, Tale of Two Titans, new interviews with Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. I have no interest in watching the later sequels, but the first one is definitely a great movie. Love Universal Soldier. I may watch that today. Yeah, I need to pick up, find some movies to watch. Lately I've been binging Stargate, but moved on. Next, I actually watched this film for the first time, I think like a month ago, but Looper, Bruce Willis, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Emily Blunt, really good film. Directed by Rian Johnson, who directed The Last Jedi, which I hated. I thought he did a good job with this film. I thought the performances were good. The idea was cool. Yeah, I watched this like a month ago for the first time. And again, really good film. Looper. I liked it. Good movie. So I got Looper. Let's see, get these up here. I got 3 stacks right here. So I'm trying to get down to these three. But next, we have The Super, starring Joe Pesci. This is another one of those comedies that I really enjoy, that nobody talks about a lot. Now, I love My Cousin Vinny, but The Super is right up there with it as far as like Joe Pesci comedies. And he didn't really do a lot. I mean, in Home Alone 1 and 2 he did, but, you know, he's really known for Goodfellas and, Casino. He didn't do a lot of films like this. But if you haven't seen The Super with Joe Pesci, definitely give it a watch. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I enjoyed The Super. Underrated comedy. Love The Super. Next, we have Cheaters, starring Jeff Daniels. Putting the system to the test. I haven't seen this one. Directed by John Stockwell. I have to give this a watch. But yeah, Cheaters. Let me know about that film. Next up, definitely a great remake, and that's The Blob, which I have a poster of it, like a little, like the Shining poster back here, like one that size. So I may put it up in the background. I don't know why I haven't put it up yet, but with the film, great remake, great horror film. And I think there's a Blu-ray coming out with a whole bunch of features. I don't think they get Kevin Dillon to talk about the film, but they get a lot of the cast. And The Blob is a great horror film, great remake, great special effects, classic. We've got The Blob. Maybe I'll pick up that Blu-ray at some point. But moving on, let's see, grab a few of these. Next up, we have Interstellar, which I need to give this a watch. Haven't seen. Directed by Christopher Nolan, Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about it, so I got Interstellar, so I got that. Next, we have The Bonfire of the Vanities with Tom Hanks, Bruce Willis, Melanie Griffith. And this is one film I haven't seen. Directed by Brian De Palma. You also have Morgan Freeman in the film. Yeah, you could let me know about this one. I mean, I've heard about it, a little bit here and there, but I haven't seen it. I don't know why my frames are being dropped. Let me try something here. There you go. Okay, back to what I was saying. Again, I haven't seen the film, but I would, someday give it a watch. So that's The Bonfire of the Vanities. Next up, we have Cops and Robinsons, or Cops and Robinsons. A decent flick. I mean, it's not Chevy Chase's strongest. I mean, he's done better films like Fletch and, Christmas Vacation, Caddyshack, but, Cops and Robinsons, I mean, it's not a bad film. It's just, a decent little comedy. Jack Palance is fun, so I got that. No features. I thought there was, but moving on, we have Godzilla from 1998. I enjoyed this one. I know this film gets a lot of flack, for the look of the Godzilla, for the cast, so on and so forth. But, and I did see Godzilla King of the Monsters. I didn't mind that, but I still like the 1998 film. I like the cast. I like the entertainment, the popcorn entertainment, factor. I can understand the complaints and the, drawbacks. I can understand. but I still like the film. So that's Godzilla. Yeah, 1998. It says deluxe widescreen presentation. Not much for features, but I still like the movie. Next up, we have Black Snake Moan with Samuel Jackson, Christina Ricci, Justin Timberlake, which I haven't seen, but I've heard about. So for the Samuel Jackson, I can't even talk right today. For the Samuel Jackson collection, I do have Black Snake Moan, so I got that. Let's see here. Moving on, we have a really good film, underrated movie, and that's The Hunted. Tommy Lee Jones, Benicio del Toro. Again, a really good film, really good thriller. And I thought they did, Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio del Toro did a great job with the performances. Just a great movie. Nobody talks about much. If you haven't seen, definitely give it a watch. And that's The Hunted. Next, for the Dolph collection and a really good film, we have Army of One, or Joshua Tree is another name for it, but good action flick. Good villain, who I think was played by what's his name, George Segal. You also have Jeffrey Lewis in the film. Christian Alfonso, who is hot, and she still looks good. But Army of One is a good Dolph Lundgren flick, good little action flick from the early 90s. But yeah, I got that. Next up, we have Pale Rider with Clint Eastwood. This is one that I've seen a little bit of here and there. Haven't really seen the whole film, but directed by Clint Eastwood. So, yeah, I'm trying to get every Clint film, like, for the collection, his westerns. I have a few of them, but I don't have, like, Joe Kidd or, there's a couple of others, but Pale Rider, I do have that one for the Eastwood collection. Next, great holiday film, and that's Ernest Saves Christmas, which I'll definitely be watching this at some point, I'm sure, because of December. But a great Christmas film, and also one of my favorite Ernest movies. So, yeah, rest in peace, Jim Varney's definitely missed. But a great movie. A lot of fun. Next up, we have U.S. Marshals, which I have The Fugitive on Blu-ray. And this is a good follow-up to The Fugitive. I mean, I thought Tommy Lee Jones did a great job once again. Wesley Snipes was a good sort of fill-in, that type of, character. Where the government's trying to, go after Wesley Snipes. Good plot. Robert Downey Jr. was good in the film. And again, a good follow-up to The Fugitive. So, U.S. Marshals, I got that. There should have been like a third one in this sort of, series. There should have been, a third one. But if you think about it, The Hunted was sort of that third one. Or more like a spiritual follow-up. But moving on, we have The Running Man, classic Arnold film, and I saw this in the theater early this year, back in February, and it was a great experience, a full crowd. It was great seeing it with a full crowd, and The Running Man is great. I can't say much for the features because the features have nothing to do with the film. A game theory documentary an inside look at reality TV programming and its cultural impact on society. Again, what does that have to do with the film? But yeah, The Running Man's definitely a great one. You know, classic Arnold. Which I know they're trying to remake. You don't need a remake of The Running Man. Get out of here with that shit. Next up, which it's funny because, excuse me, I think I mentioned before that I didn't have the Highlander sequels, but I do have Highlander 2. It's Highlander 3 and 4 Endgame, I think it's called. I don't have 3 Endgame and Source, but I do have Highlander 2. Pull it out. This is the special edition, which I know, you know, this film gets a lot of flack, but I need to watch Highlander 2. I haven't seen Highlander 2. A lot of features. I mean, disc 1, you have the deconstruction of Highlander 2. On disc 2, you have a collection of new documentaries, the redemption of Highlander 2, the music of the film, the fabric of Highlander 2, the cinematography. So, yeah, a lot of cool bonus materials. But I got Highlander 2, the special edition, so I have to check that out. Next, we have Bulletproof, Adam Sandler, Damon Wayans. This is a good buddy cop film. There should have been a sequel. It would have been fun to see, but, you know, James Caan was a good villain, which I heard behind the scenes, James Caan didn't get along with these two. That's what I heard, what I read one time, but yeah, this is an underrated buddy cop film nobody talks about, but a fun one with Adam Sandler, Damon Wayans. I like Bulletproof, so I got that. Next up, I don't know why it's stuck, but we also have Death Proof. So I got Bulletproof and Death Proof. But I've only seen bits and pieces of Death Proof, to be honest. I've seen Planet Terror, and Planet Terror is a great movie. I've only seen a little bit of this film, so I have to give it a watch. But yeah, Death Proof, got that. Next up, a good horror flick, Dead Silence, also directed by James Wan. Yeah, the twist at the end, I'm not a fan of the twist, but I thought this was a good, a good horror film. Some good creepy, scenes with the dummies. So Dead Silence, I like the film. Next up, we have Mouse Hunt. A good, little comedy. I thought Nathan Lane and Lee Evans were a lot of fun. And I grew up on this movie. It's a sort of a childhood favorite. And it's just a lot of fun, a lot of shenanigans, trying to catch this mouse. And yeah, Mouse Hunt, it's a good family film. Good little comedy, so I got that. No features, but Mouse Hunt's good. Next, which I know is a remake, and that's Straw Dogs. I think the original stars Dustin Hoffman. I haven't seen this one, but I think I got it for cheap. Yeah, some fights you can't walk away from. Yeah. Straw Dogs. So I got that. Haven't seen, so let me know about that one. Next, great action flick, and that's The Last Boy Scout, Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans. I love this film, one of my favorite Bruce Willis films. Rest in peace, Tony Scott, who directed the film. Him and Damon Wayans are a lot of fun. And again, a great action film. I love The Last Boy Scout, so I got that. And it's getting a little dark. It's supposed to rain today, so yeah, it's a little dark out. But it's okay. Next up, definitely classic Van Damme film, and that's Bloodsport. What more can you say about this film? The one that started it all, and that really skyrocketed Van Damme. Yeah. Bloodsport's great. I don't have the sequels, but I think I have Bloodsport 2 in my hands. Like, I found it at a pawn shop, not too long ago, but I didn't buy it. But someday, I'll check them out. I know Van Damme's not in them, but the first one's definitely classic. I could say that. So again, I haven't seen the sequels, but moving on, we have Assault on Precinct 13th, directed by John Carpenter, which I liked. I think I watched this film I know it was this year for the first time. I think it was during the summer, and I remember liking the film. Not my favorite Carpenter film. It's definitely an early work. Definitely an early film of Carpenter, but good flick. And I know there's a remake, but I don't have the remake. But I did like this one, so I got that. Next up, we have The Mask, starring Jim Carrey. Definitely a Jim Carrey classic. Features, you have deleted scenes, return to Edge City, introducing Cameron Diaz or screen test, cartoon logic, audio commentaries with the director, and writers and producers. A lot of people on this commentary track. And Return to Edge City is actually like a little, I think it's like, from what I remember, like a documentary, and they talk about the comic books and like how the Mask is more like Deadpool. And he's it's all like blood and violence, and definitely different from the film, but I still like The Mask. Definitely a great movie. But I wonder what could have been, if they had stuck to that comic, how would that would have turned out, if The Mask was more, violent and bloody, sort of like Deadpool. I know people make that sort of comparison, but The Mask, it's a great movie. Next, we have a holiday classic, and that's Scrooged with Bill Murray. Probably my favorite holiday film. Christmas Vacation is right up there. That and this film is sort of tied, for my favorite. But I love this film. I grew up on Scrooged. Love Bill Murray in the film, and it's a feel-good movie. I would definitely be watching this during the holidays. So I got Scrooged. Great movie. And I swear at one point I remember they were going to make a special edition for this film, and they pulled back on it. I don't know why. You can still do it. Make a special edition for Scrooged, please. I don't know why they canceled that, but moving on, we have Stealing Home. And I think this is a drama with Mark Harmon. Harold Ramis is in the film. I didn't know that, but Jodie Foster. But yeah, Stealing Home. So you can let me know about that one. I'm a fan of Mark Harmon. Next up, let's see, we have The Man Who Wasn't There, Billy Bob Thornton, Frances McDormand, James Gandolfini, directed by the Coens, which I know it's filmed in black and white. And this is one I haven't seen, but I got it for cheap, so. Commentary with Billy Bob Thornton and the directors, making of the film, interview with the cinematographer, behind the scenes photo gallery. But yeah, you can let me know about this film, The Man Who Wasn't There. So I got that. Next up, a really good film, and that's Casualties of War. Sean Penn, Michael J. Fox. Great movie. Nobody talks about this film much. And directed by Brian De Palma, who's a great director. Scarface, Body Double, The Untouchables. Damn, sorry, I got reflux or something. But yeah, great director. And great performances from Sean Penn and Michael J. Fox. Yeah, Casualties of War is a great movie. Definitely give that a watch if you haven't seen it. Next, which I haven't seen the series, but I do have Serenity. If it's not too dark out, but I hope you can see it. Serenity. I haven't seen this film. I haven't seen the Firefly. I believe that's the show. I haven't seen that series. But yeah, I do have Serenity, so you can let me know about that. I probably would feel a little lost watching it because I don't know much about the series or the characters, but I do have the film. Next, which I thought was a good flick, and that's The Judge, Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall. Good dramatic film. I think this came out probably in 2014 or 15, so. But I thought Robert Downey Jr. was good in the film and good performances, so The Judge. So I got that. Next up, we have In the Valley of Ella. Tom Lee Jones, Charlize Theron, Susan Sarandon. I think James Franco is in the film too. Directed by Paul Haggis, who I think directed the Bourne films. I think it's the same director. I think this is more like a mystery thriller. I haven't seen this one, but yeah, let me know about that one. In the Valley of Ella. But, Tom Lee Jones I'm a big fan of, so for the Tom Lee Jones collection, I got that. Next, we have a Steve Martin film, All of Me, with Steve Martin, Lily Tomlin, directed by Carl Reiner. Yeah, I haven't seen this one. I like Steve Martin, so more for that collection, the Steve Martin, trying to get more of his films. I have a Steve Martin 4-pack. I don't think I've shown that yet, but you'll see that later. But that's All of Me, so I got that. Haven't seen, so let me know about that. And this next one I haven't seen. I haven't seen the first one, so I should watch both of them. But I have 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I know is a sequel to Cloverfield. John Goodman is in the film, and I know this is not too, it came out, when did it come, the year it came out? Yeah, 2016. It came out 2016, so, 3 years old, it's still a newer film. I think I got it for $1. But, yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane. So I got that one. Let's see here. Next up, we have Walk the Line. Really good biopic. Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash. I thought he did a great job. with this performance. And I'll pull it out here so you can see. Yeah, Reese Witherspoon as June Carter. So, really good biopic. The 2-disc DVD collection edition. And that's Walk the Line. So on that. Next, we have 10 Things I Hate About You, which I haven't seen, believe it or not. You got Heath Ledger, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Julia Stiles. I don't know why I've never seen this one. Believe it or not, I've never seen this one, so I'll give that a watch at some point. That's 10 Things I Hate About You. Next up, we have Surf Ninjas with Ernie Reyes Jr. I've only seen bits and pieces of this one. Haven't seen the film all the way, but you also have Rob Schneider in the film, Leslie Nielsen, and I think after this point, Ernie Reyes' career didn't really go anywhere. He did Ninja Turtles 2, Surf Ninjas, and he sort of disappeared. I know in recent years he's had some health issues or some issues with his kidneys, but then I heard he's doing better, so I hope he's doing better. I'm a big fan of Ernie Reyes Jr., so I do have Surf Ninjas, so I got that. Next up, really good film, classic Eastwood film, and that's Escape from Alcatraz. Yeah, definitely a great movie, well made. Clint Eastwood does a great job in the film, based on the true story. So Escape from Alcatraz, great movie. Next up, I haven't seen this one, but we have Gattaca. Is that how you say it? Is it Gattaca or Gattaca? But Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman, Alan Arkin, Jude Law. Directed by Andrew Niccol. Writer of The Truman Show. But yeah, I haven't seen Gattaca, so I know it's a sci-fi flick. So you can let me know about that one. I have that. Next, we have Mother's Boys. I don't know if you can still see it all right, but Jamie Lee Curtis film, which I haven't seen, but I haven't really seen this one, but I haven't heard too many good things about it, so it's one of those that I picked up for cheap. I was curious about the film. We'll see what happens, but Mother's Boys, I do have that one. And this next one, which I haven't seen, but I found it for cheap, The Messenger, with Mila Jovovich, John Malkovich, Faye Dunaway, and Dustin Hoffman. The story of Joan of Arc, and this is the international version. You have an HBO First Look, a couple of features, but that's pretty much it. But The Messenger, I haven't seen that one, so you can let me know about that one. Let's see, get these for you ready. Moving on, we have The Family Man, starring Nicolas Cage. Really good film. Definitely a good story. Tia Leone in the shower dancing. Beast of Burden, she's hot in the film. Directed by Brett Ratner, who you wouldn't think. He directed, the Rush Hour films, but I thought he did a great job with this one. Again, it's a great story. It's a feel-good film. It's a feel-good type of movie with Nicolas Cage. So The Family Man's really good. I like that one. Next, and I can't say much about this one. This is a weird one, but we have Rhinestone. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone, Dolly Parton. This is a weird ass movie. Drinkenstein, yeah, that crap. But yeah, Rhinestone's a weird movie. Not Stallone's worst, but it's definitely not good. But I do have Rhinestone, so I got that. Next up, another great holiday film, Bad Santa. Billy Bob Thornton, Bernie Mac. You also have John Ritter in the film. Rest in peace to both, which is sad thinking about. They were both in this movie and they passed away, but they since passed. And I did see the sequel. I didn't really care for Bad Santa 2 that much, but this is a better movie. Yeah, love Bad Santa. So I got that. And again, if you hear noise, it's just the wind. It's blowing real hard today. It's 40 degrees, but the wind makes it feel like the early 30s. But moving on, we have Last Man Standing from Bruce Willis. Definitely a great Bruce Willis flick. Directed by Walter Hill, who I forget sometimes directed this, but yeah, just a great movie. Excuse me, reflux or something, but yeah, I like the plot. These two rival gangs and Bruce Willis's characters in the middle. Yeah, Last Man Standing, great movie. Great Bruce Willis movie. So I got that. Next, we have Wyatt Earp, which I prefer Tombstone more. I got this, for the Kevin Costner collection, and I know this one has a really good cast. You have Kevin Costner, Dennis Quaid, Gene Hackman, Jeff Fahey, Mark Harmon, Michael Madsen, Bill Pullman, Tom Sizemore, Joe Beth Williams. So a really good cast, but I remember it being very long. It's like 3 hours. Why? Tombstone's the better version of this movie, but I do have Wyatt Earp, so I got that. Next up, we have Project Almanac, which I haven't seen, but I got for cheap. So, and let me know about that one. Haven't seen, so Project Almanac, I got that. Next up, good Disney flick, Mighty Joe Young, with Bill Paxton, Charlize Theron. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Mighty Joe Young is a good flick. Good little family flick from the late 90s. And I remember back in the day, it may have been like Disney Channel or something, but they would have this like series where they would do like behind the scenes stuff. I think it was called like Movie Surfers or something, but I remember them, showing the behind the scenes of Mighty Joe Young, and I'm like, no, that looks cool. And directed by Ron Underwood, who directed Tremors. So Mighty Joe Young's a good movie. Again, good family film. Again, I miss Bill Paxton. Rest in peace, Mr. Paxton. But next, we have Analyze This, which is a good comedy directed by Harold Ramis. Stars Robert De Niro, Billy Crystal. I don't have the second one. I need to get it. I need to pick that up. Analyze that. But this one, I thought these two were great. Had a great chemistry. Robert De Niro is funny. Analyze This. Great comedy. Next, we have a remake. My Bloody Valentine remake, which I thought was decent. A decent remake, which I've seen it once, but I need to go back and rewatch. But I remember not minding it. One of the better remakes. So yeah, My Bloody Valentine remake. I got that. And I know I mentioned, I had this Steve Martin 4-pack. So yeah, I got this 4-pack of Steve Martin films. We have The Jerk, House Sitter, Parenthood, and The Lonely Guy, which I've seen Parenthood, like little bit parts of the film, but I haven't seen the other films. So yeah, this is a collection pack that I need to check out. But getting more Steve Martin films for the collection. So again, The Jerk, House Sitter, Parenthood, and The Lonely Guy. It was cheap, so yeah, cool collection pack. Steve Martin collection. Next, we have The Exorcist. Definitely a classic. It's not a film. Excuse me. It's not a film that I watch much. Like, it's not my favorite horror film or one of my favorite horror films, but I give it its respect. I don't know. It's a well-made film, but it's not a film that I go back and watch a lot of or rewatch. But I do have that one, The Exorcist. I don't have part 2. I don't have that one. I do have part 3. But moving on, we have Resurrecting the Champ, Samuel Jackson's, Josh Hartnett. And I got it for $3 at Big Lots, as you can see. Still in the plastic. And I need to watch this one. Haven't seen it. But I was curious, so Resurrecting the Champ. Got that. Next up, a great Stallone film. And that's Lock Up. Yeah, great movie. Stallone puts on a great performance, great score. Donald Sutherland's great. He was a great performance as the warden. And it's loose. I can feel it. I don't know how it got loose, but yeah, Lock Up is definitely a great movie. It's a moving film, so yeah, I enjoy Lock Up. Next, we have The Outlaw Josie Wells with Clint Eastwood. This is one I haven't seen. I need to really go back and watch his westerns. I've seen A Fistful of Dollars, but there's some other ones which I haven't seen. You have 2 documentaries up here. 2 documentaries. Introduction by Clint Eastwood, so some good stuff. Also directed by Clint Eastwood. And that's The Outlaw Josie Wells. So I got that. Next up, we have Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Steve Martin and Michael Caine. And again, I hope you can see it all right. I know it's kind of getting dark in here. Directed by Frank Oz, which there is a commentary up here by Frank Oz, behind the scenes featurette. Yeah, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. So I got that. And getting down to the last few, like 10 more, maybe 10, 12 more. Next, we have The Italian Job, which I know this is the remake with Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, Edward Norton, Jason Statham, Donald Sutherland. I remember liking this film. I need to go back and rewatch it. It's been a minute, but yeah, I remember liking this one. So I do have The Italian Job. Next, we have Tequila Sunrise with Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell, Raul Julia. I've never seen this film, but it's one of those titles that I'm curious about. I mean, it's got Mel Gibson, Kurt Russell. It's got to be good. So I wonder what they think about this film. But yeah, Tequila Sunrise. Got that. No features, but moving on, we have Aaron Brockovich, starring Julia Roberts, which I haven't seen, but again, it was cheap. You have a making of the film, a look at the real life experience, which I think this is based on a true story. Deleted scenes with director's comments. So, yeah. Aaron Brockovich, I have that. Next up, we have Can't Buy Me Love with Patrick Dempsey, Amanda Peterson, who I think has passed away, which is unfortunate. Dennis Duggan. But yeah, I need to watch this one. Maybe I'll watch it today. I've never seen this film, so yeah, Can't Buy Me Love. I got that one. Next up, we have Frequency. Definitely a great movie. Great story. I really enjoyed the performances from Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel. I really like the premise. It's a very cool premise and also a good mystery film. So, and some great suspense. But Frequency, yeah, great movie with these two actors. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen this film, definitely go check it out. Love Frequency. Next up, we have Deep Rising, starring Treat Williams. Really good creature feature, directed by Stephen Sommers, who would go on to direct The Mummy and Fast Pace. I really enjoyed Deep Rising. It's entertaining. It's an entertaining flick. So if you haven't seen Deep Rising, definitely check it out. So I got that. Next up, As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson. I've only seen little bit parts of this one. You got Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt, Greg Kinnear. But yeah, As Good as It Gets. So I got that, which I think Jack Nicholson won the Oscar or something, or Golden Globe. Yeah, I got that one. Next, we have Patch Adams with Robin Williams. Decent little movie. I know it's not his best, Robin Williams' best film, but I remember not minding the film. It's not my favorite Robin Williams film, and he's done better type of films like this. I mean, I guess better dramas, dramatic films, but I didn't mind Patch Adams. I know it's based on a real life person, that sort of, like would entertain sick patients and stuff. And on here you got The Value of Laughter, original documentary looking at the genesis of the joy behind the film, featuring interviews with the cast, outtakes. But yeah, Patch Adams, I got that. And I'm trying to get more for the Robin Williams collection. Like, there's a few Robin Williams films that I do have, some that I don't have, like The Toy, or was it called Toys? I think it was called Toys. I don't have that one. That I would like to get, and some other ones. But moving on, we have Ray with Jamie Lee Foxx, a biopic on Ray Charles. Yeah, I haven't seen this one, but I like Jimmy Fox as an actor, great actor, and I need to give this a watch. I haven't seen the film, so, but I do have Ray with Jamie Lee Fox. Try not to let that fall. Next up, which I have the, excuse me, I have the trilogy on Blu-ray, which you'll see later, but we have The Naked Gun, starring Leslie Nielsen. Again, I have the Naked Gun trilogy in a Blu-ray pack, but so I don't know why I have the DVD. But a great parody film, you know, that type of movie. Leslie Nielsen, definitely a classic. So I got that, The Naked Gun. Next, we have The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves, Al Pacino. A great movie. Al Pacino is great as Satan. He's pretty much playing Satan in this film, and Keanu Reeves does a great job with this performance. Charlize Theron. And features, you have feature length and audio commentary by director, and over 30 minutes of deleted scenes. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, not many people talk about this film now. But The Devil's Advocate, definitely a great movie. Al Pacino's, he definitely is the highlight of the film. And Keanu Reeves does a great job, but I mean, again, Pacino pretty much plays Satan. Satan. I mean, you can buy it. But moving on, we have Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I like this movie. You know, Gary Oldman I thought was great as Dracula. You also have Anthony Hopkins, Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves, but excuse me, got reflux or something. But yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula, a really good film. So I got that. And lastly, for this part 7, 28 Days Later. I'll pull it out, but yeah, I got that. And I do have 28 Weeks Later, which I think I've shown already, but yeah. So I got that. And that is it for part 7. Hope you enjoyed part 7. Again, I know, you know, it's not too, you know, it's a little dark outside because it's getting ready to rain a little bit, but again, I hope you enjoyed part 7 and stay tuned for part 8. Still continuing with my DVD collection. Anyways, thanks for watching and have a good day.